It's all happening, ladies and gentlemen. Another quote-unquote plot leak. And this is actually what I could get behind. It is actually somewhat positive, and it actually aligns with everything we have seen so far and everything we've known so far. So you know what? We're not gonna waste any more time. By the way, Muso, people who are ready to copy strike this video, no gameplay footage, no audio, no screenshots, none of the leaks. Only what's been said in this Reddit post could be a complete rumor speculation. So legally, you can't do anything. So without wasting any more time, let us begin. So originally I found this post on Reddit. In it, a user by the name of Flaming Brand posted the spoilers breakdown of The Last of Us Part 2, whatever's going on. In there, they linked another post, aka full plot of The Last of Us 2, and this is where I am going to read. Now the post goes something like this. It is by AlexXH2, posted just a few hours ago. I know this will get downvoted as heck, but should read this. I've spoken to a certain person here in Reddit who claims to know full story of this game, and he might actually know it. His user is Daniel Haymond 147. He has told me a few details in certain scenes that are too specific, and that makes me believe all of what he has told me may be true. And at first I was like, yeah, I'm not sure about that, but when I read it, and I'm going to read it for you, this could be the real deal here. That, or that he has a lot of imaginations, but he has told me things that fit some of the new images from the new trailer. That's the big point. You should at least give him a try and listen to him. If he turns out to be trolling us, at least it'll be fun reading all he tells you and considering it at least as a theory. Please give him a try. He does not look like a troll, and it isn't Naughty Dog damage. Whatever, go speak with him. Alright, now let's get started. First of all, the leaks are true, but the game doesn't seem to be as bad as people claim, though it is a bit disappointing even for him. It is an okay story. May give it a chance to check if this is true honestly. He has told me he hates things such as playing as Abby to beat the shizzle out of Ellie, and literally everyone in the dev team hated it, but Neil insisted I could get behind that. Alright, now this is where it all starts. The game opens with you playing as Joel as he recaps the ending of the last game to Tommy. Later you meet Ellie and play guitar for her before she heads to sleep. It then flashes forward 6 years later while Ellie is in bed with Dina. You go through a general routine in Jackson, getting ready, having breakfast with Dina, etc. before Jesse dispatches you and Dina on your first patrol mission. You do these for about 5 hours in order to get the player to care about Ellie and Dina's relationship. Note, there's going to be a lot of gameplay. After returning from a patrol, Jesse explains Tommy has been kidnapped by bandits and they have to rescue him. Ellie, Dina, and Jesse head out together, but Joel stops her before she leaves the house. This is where his scene from the release day trailer comes from. The four get caught in the blizzard and separate. Ellie manages to find Joel's horse outside a cabin. She heads inside and down to the basement where we see Abby beating Joel with a golf club. Unfortunately, why do we get reminded every single day? Why? And Tommy unconscious across from him. This is, by the way, talking about the release day trailer where we see Joel returning and you see Ellie being on the ground. Abby caves in Joel's skull. Why? When Ellie's hearing inside gets fuzzy while we transition to a flashback from her and Joel's adventures. These happen many times throughout the game, and it is kind of necessary to really make you feel the emotions that are running. Right after that, we see the flashback of Joel's and her adventures. Oh, I can only wait for the reactions from them fans. Abby and her crew then leave and Jesse and Dina rescue Ellie and Tommy. While Ellie is unconscious, we get our first flashback to Abby's past. Nobody cares. We see her in her room playing with other children and being supervised by a guard when gunshots go off from Joel, killing the guards in the other part of the building. The scene is intentionally reminiscent of a school shooting as you watch the security guard force the children to hide while he stacks chair against the door. I can see the writing team, especially Neil Druckmann, doing something like this in the development. Later he leaves and you make your way to the operating room where you find your father dead. It transitions back to Abby's perspective during Joel's death before once again cutting to flashback of her first day in Seattle as she makes her way through the building as her and another member of the group are told to go out on a guard duty. I didn't see much of the parts with Abby as we were told to omit her entirely from the marketing even after the leaks, so I have less info on her bits than the rest of the game. But the rumors about you hunting down Ellie as her are completely false. You spend roughly 70% of the game as Ellie and around 30% as Abby. Her missions are entirely devoted to trying to make you feel sympathy for her and relate. Now, there is a problem with us playing as Abby. It's a big problem, and it needs a big explanation that I will talk about in the upcoming video where I'm going to talk about the ending, so watch out for that. For all of you are saying, oh well, let's give Abby a chance. Well, I am giving it a chance. I am going to play the game and see what happens, but it's a problem. It's a huge problem problem of us playing as Abby, not only playing as a new character. I never had problems with playing as a new character in sequels, but playing a character who killed your beloved favorite character, yeah, we need to discuss this. Ellie wakes up after Abby's level, and she immediately runs to Jesse, telling him they need to go to war. Jesse explains they can't do that as they need to protect the people of Jackson despite Ellie's wishes. Then Ellie tells him that she is going to hunt down all of Abby's group. When she gets back to her house, Tommy comes in and tries to talk her out of getting revenge. Ellie gets angry at Tommy and tries to provoke anger with him and tells him to come with her, but he refuses. The next day, Ellie takes a horse and leaves with Dina. We can confirm this because we've seen both the story trailer and the release date trailer, so I can actually get behind this plot so far. We spent time with Ellie and Dina traveling to the city before they are attacked by Seraphites. Now, Seraphites is a group that is really interesting. This is the group that intermingles with Abby's and Ellie's, or Tommy's, if you will. Well, technically now there will be 4 groups because Tommy, Ellie separated. So yeah, we got 4 groups now. Well, Ellie's group isn't that big, but you get the point. And forced into a tunnel filled with infected. Jesse then comes and rescues Ellie, and the two set off to find Dina. I can also confirm this, by the way, we just seen in the story trailer. Other than the patrol missions, the small free roam sections, and the tunnel scenes, the infected barely appear. The main feature is that when you get into a gunfight with an enemy, the gunfire will draw them to you and you'll have to deal with them as well as the enemy. Now, we can also confirm this in the leak. If you go around on Twitter, you can actually find the footage of how the stealth mission and aggressive actually works. You can actually go around both. You can go all aggressive mode in missions like this, or you can go aggressive if you have enough ammo. So this spin, so far it's alright. Anyway, you switch back to Abby after this, and her partner are trying out some kind of a mini carnival she's created. We talk about the arrows and bow and whatever, the purple like Abby. Have you seen yourself a purple bow and arrow? Really? Man, they shoot arrows at targets, and after the two end up having nobody cares what they have. Then we go back to Ellie and Jesse, where they've managed to find a car and following down Dina. And I hope that's the last time they ever had a pleasure moment, especially Abby. What's wrong with me? The Seraphites are holding her in an abandoned building where Jesse and Ellie sneak through and rescue Dina before they can kill her. The three are separated, and you play through the scene from the first gameplay trailer where Ellie sneaks through the forest looking for Jesse and Dina. Ugh. Ellie finds the two, and just as they are about to escape, the Seraphites discover them and begin a shootout. Jesse is shot in the throat during this and bleeds out. Ellie and Dina are forced to leave his body and escape barely with their lives. That explains the emotional scene between Dina and Ellie. We once again transition back to Abby as her and her boyfriend are patrolling the two. The two get ambushed by Seraphites. Her boyfriend escapes while Abby is taken captive by them. This is where Abby's trailer plays out. After she's cut down from the news by Lev, the screen cuts to the black as she swings the hammer at the clicker. We go back to Ellie as she finds herself in a building filled with Abby's people. Super excited for that. Her and Dina massacre their way through. Ooh, excited to see Dina massacring through there before Ellie recognizes Abby's boyfriend and unsuccessfully attempts to interrogate him before he dies. Can confirm this, of course. So far, yeah, that's alright. Not bad. We then go back to Abby as her and Lev scout a nearby hospital for supplies as they need to amputate Yara's arm. They gather the supplies and kill a few infected. Are infected even part of this game anymore? The two pass by Jesse's body near the road. Although Abby doesn't recognize, this signifies to the play that Abby and Ellie are not far away from each other. Basically, they're trying to build up Abby's playthrough and Ellie both getting close to each other whilst you control both at the same time. They unsuccessfully amputate Yara's arm and end up having to leave her to the infected as Abby and Lev run away. We go back to Ellie again as her and Dina start to argue about the cost of their mission and whether or not it is worth it or what Joel would have wanted. Understand, we have moved past mid part of the game, and like first 10%, like second chapter, Joel died. That's what pisses everyone off. Anyways, during this scene, we get Joel's first appearance as a projection in Ellie's mind. As he tells her to go to home while Dina yells at her. Ellie takes Storm off into the woods where she sees survivors of the group gathering wood and heading back to their log cabin. You follow them in a stealth section before kicking down the door, gunning down all of them. The very first trailer of the game then plays with Ghost Joel asking if Ellie's sure she can go through with this. Goodness gracious, can you imagine people who are going in blind right now? And then we're looking at that scene. I am super pumped for that specific scene. I mean, I already knew that was Joel's ghost, but yeah, with all the context in mind, it's gonna be emotional. Dina arrives at the log cabin and sees the slaughter that Ellie unleashed. She tells Ellie she can't kill her as well as her child and leaves her. Ooh, breakup scene. Oh, that's gonna be emotional, I can already bet. We get another flashback to Ellie and Joel before we show Ellie walking through the city in modern day. Joel tries to convince her to turn back before he starts to say, "She's always known where those guys were," and saying that, "I only lied to protect you." Ellie looks at Joel and asks him again to swear that he didn't lie to her about the fireflies. He looks at her, ashamed of himself. Ooh, we seen in the story trailer yesterday, boys. I was like, this is not good. Why is she crying and leaving Joel like that? Ellie storms off in tears, knowing the truth now. So Ghost Joel, after death, accepted that he lied to protect her. Goodness gracious, this is a good plot in terms of just Ellie and Joel's story, but oh my god, I still can't get out from this Abby's circle. Ellie finally spots Abby and Lev entering a theater from far away and begins sprinting into it and then sneaking inside. To be fair, can you blame Ellie after what has happened? She was almost dead. She got another chance, why not go all in? I'm supporting her all the way through. Let's keep going. Before she gets inside, Dina returns and said she needs to make sure her child has a mother. What? That doesn't make any sense. I guess she's talking about Ellie's protection from her, or her protection from others from Ellie. I don't know. Look, the two of them make their way through the theater's basement hunting for Abby. See if she is pregnant. Why is she going around killing infected people, and especially why is she going around in Abby's group? Don't you know what she did to Joel? We switch control to her as she gets left to hide in the ventilation shaft. So now they are in the defense mode. We have a stealth section where we choke Dina unconscious and then repeatedly stealth attack Ellie. So this explains that gameplay that everyone is talking about. Oh, this is the ending. No, this is not the ending. This is close to the ending, but that's not how the ending works out. I mean, it looked like a final boss battle, but it's not. We have a stealth section where we choke Dina unconscious and then repeatedly stealth attack Ellie. Abby chokes Ellie and beats her, and Dina near death, but Lev stops her before she can cut Dina's throat. We know the footage. She tells Ellie if she ever sees her again, she'll kill her, and the two leave Ellie and Dina. Dina's bleeding out on the floor from the battering she took from Abby and could possibly have a miscarriage. Ellie tries to move but is too hurt. Oh god. I hope y'all ready for the violence in this game, because I know I am. What? That's not right. We end up having to mash the buttons on our controllers while Joel yells at us to get up. Now, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. The voices in Senua's head telling her, you can't do this, and on the other hand, you can do this, and then when she's down, the voice would be like, get up. Alter Ego, Twin Mirror from Don't Nod are also trying this stuff, so it's a really cool thing, and here, it makes sense, just not with the context of how he died. We then drag Dina out into the rain as Ellie tries to wake her up but fails. Ellie begins crying, fearing that Dina is dead, and so are we. Suddenly, a group emerges from the woods with the flashlights. We've seen that in the story trailer. The man leading them raises his arm, the guy we just saw in the story trailer yesterday, and tells Ellie he means them no harm and that they look like they could use some help, of course. It then cuts to black and we get our final Joel and Ellie flashback where, oh my god, this actually broke me when I read it. And while it never get used gameplay wise, Joel is teaching Ellie how to swim. The scene is by far the saddest in the game. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. I'm getting chills, man. And while he's teaching her, Joel accidentally calls her Sarah. Oh my god, no. Control them emotions. Oh my god. Oh no. I just can't. Please make it stop. He is teaching her how to swim and then accidentally calls her Sarah after he lost Sarah like that. Oh my god, no. Months later, the pair are back at Jackson, and Dina has given birth, but Ellie is still not at peace and longs for revenge. She puts on Joel's winter jacket and sets off after Abby. We then cut back to Abby as she and Lev are searching for fireflies in neighborhood. Abby begins searching house to house in the neighborhood for signs of fireflies. As she opens the closet in the room, Ellie jumps out and on top of her and begins repeatedly stabbing her in the neck with a knife. Thank you. Goodness gracious, good job, Ellie. I'm still sad about the swim flashback. I just can't. Joel calling her Sarah. Oh my god. I can't. I know when I'm gonna watch the scene, I hope it's in the game. I hope these leaks are true because this makes it so good. Oh my god. Control switches to Ellie and the player must mash square to knife Abby in the throat repeatedly with anger, hatred, and revenge violence. I need to stop. What am I doing? Lev bursts in and threatens to kill Ellie before giving up and asking her to just go. I can actually see this happening. You see, that's the problem. one, I can actually see Neil and Haley writing this kind of stuff. The game ends with Ellie standing outside the porch covered in blood, just like we've seen in the story trailer. This is what I said. Soaking in the sun, realizing her vengeance didn't make her happy, only empty. Man, talk to me. Talk to me, boys. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the only leak out there of a plot that I could get behind, and it is the only plot that made me even more excited for the game. Still disappointed about the Joel stuff, still disappointed about the fact that we have to play 30%. 30% is too much, by the way, for a 15 to 20 hours game, and we have to play as Abby. If these plots are true to be believed and they support the leaks heavily and the trailers heavily, man, it's gonna be one heck of an emotional ride, and your boy is here for it. Now, of course, I will be getting the game, as you all know. Maybe give one free copy. As listen, if I don't like anything, I'm just gonna outrightly say it. If I like some stuff, I'm gonna say it, alright? I don't particularly hate the whole game. I hate specific elements of the game. Doesn't mean I hate the entire game. I saw one of you comment in the last video saying that I'm fake for now trashing this game. No, of course not. As soon as I saw the leaks, I'm like, this is disappointing. And the fact that it happened so early in the game, and the fact that he didn't get to say a thing, and the fact that it happened off screen. All the brutal beating happened off screen. I mean, I didn't want to see him brutally getting what he got, but you know, it's a story. If you want to go there, at least do it right, if that makes any sense. But you know what, boys, this video is already too long. What do you think now about The Last of Us after all the new plots and new leaks? I am super excited. Now, you might be wondering, okay, Smack, if this plot is to be believed, what happened to the yesterday's plot that said there will be a familiar face? Was it Marlene, Riley, Nora, anyone? I'm gonna talk about that because I'm saving something for that ending video, so watch out for that. Now, Last of Us coming soon. For one copy, all you have to do, smash the like, subscribe right now, help me get to 30k, and we'll see about who gets the copy for The Last of Us Part 2.